What was supposed to be a fun summer day became a tragedy when Caleb Schwab went down Verrückt, the world's tallest waterslide. The raft he was riding went airborne and collided with a metal pole supporting safety netting, resulting in his horrifying death. But could his horrible death have been prevented? How to Survive presents the deadliest waterslide in the world. This was a ride like no other. It was taller than Niagara Falls. The slide would drop you from 51.5 meters, and you'd be flying along at speeds of 113 kilometers per hour. You wish you could slow down, but the braking system isn't working. And that's just one of the many malfunctions that made Verrückt the most deadly waterslide. Which safety mechanism ended up being the most dangerous part of the slide? What was the riskiest seat to ride in? And why should you beware of duct tape? Getting on any amusement park ride has its risks, but if you ever encounter any of the following mistakes made in the creation of Verrückt, think twice about hopping on. Number 5. Fast construction. Its name, Verrückt, means insane in German, and it was built insanely fast. Jeffrey Henry is the co-founder of Schlitterbahn, the amusement park in Kansas City that was home to the deadly attraction. In November 2012, he set out to build a new ride more thrilling than anything he had ever been involved with, after television producers discussed with him a new show about incredible water parks. Verrückt was designed in only 5 weeks, when the engineering of rides of this magnitude usually took several months. The waterslide opened in 2014 and was featured on that television show, leading people to believe the rush was on so that Schlitterbahn ownership could impress the series producers. Number 4. Malfunctioning safety mechanisms. Just a week before the opening, the firm hired to test the ride informed the park of the risk of rafts going airborne and potentially killing the occupants. Netting held in place by metal poles was intended to prevent this from happening. However, the netting became an issue as the rafts kept going over the sides and people got dangerously close to the poles. Riders described that as they were going down the slide, they could see where people had hit the net and they didn't feel safe at all. Number 3. No minimum age restrictions. Caleb died on August 7, 2016. This terrible accident led to the closing of the dangerous waterslide, but it wasn't the only incident where riders were injured. At least 13 other people had suffered concussions, lacerations, and fractures. Caleb was 10 years old, even though the minimum age recommended for such a ride is 16. The park had originally decided that riders had to be at least 14, but right before opening, they arbitrarily lifted all restrictions. Parks enforce rules and regulations on height and weight requirements for numerous safety reasons. If you don't see anything posted, maybe sit that ride out. Number 2. Ignoring weight distribution. Before opening to the public, Verrückt was tested for riders weighing up to a combined 250 kilograms, but not tested for the distribution of that weight between a raft's 3 seats. The uneven weight distribution on Caleb's raft might have factored into the catastrophe. He was only 33 kilograms and was given the front seat by the ride operators, with 2 adults in the seat behind him. The additional weight in the back of the raft may have forced its nose upward, causing it to go over the edge toward the netting. Number 1. Bad maintenance. Verrückt violated several standards set by the American Society for Testing and Materials. It was a picture-perfect example of how cutting corners and disregarding safety measures can have a fatal outcome. Its braking system had already failed 29 times leading up to this. Velcro straps holding riders in place were also an issue. People noticed that not only were there some straps damaged, but they were also being repaired with duct tape. If you ever find yourself about to go down a slide and it looks a little run down or you don't feel safe, trust your instincts and skip it. But it's summertime, and it's hard to say no to fun. That lineup of people in front of you must mean everything is okay, right? You find yourself going incredibly fast when suddenly falling off looks inevitable. Would you know what to do? We have just the video for you here on How to Survive.